Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nisha Charachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhavatu Me Bho Rama Mamuddhara Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Ashraye Bhishta Siddhaye Arthato Pyadvayanandan Ati Tadvaita Bhanatah Gurunaradhya Vedanta Saram Vakshe Yathamati. Hari Om. We were seeing the portion of Mahavakya Vichara. In Sadhana Panchakam, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji said, Shruti Shiraha Vakyam Samakarnyatam. There are two important facets here. One is listening to Mahavakya, that itself is a sadhana. Sadhana Panchakam, right? 40 sadhanas are given. Doing japa is a sadhana. Doing puja is a sadhana. According to Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, listening to Mahavakya is also one sadhana. And right after that he says, Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam. Having listened to Mahavakya, now reflect upon the meaning. And that is the portion what we are studying here in Vedanta Saar right now. Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam Shruti Shiraha Pakshas Samashriyatam Dustarkat Suiramyatam. Whatever logic is there, which is according to Shruti Mata, he says take that side. But the important part is how to do Vakyartha Vichara. Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam, how to think about Mahavakya. So Swami Sadanand ji is helping us appreciate that sadhana. Start first with Adhyaropa, then Apavada, then do Tat Tvam Padartha Shodhanam. Trying to understand the Pada of Tat. What does the Pada of Tvam mean? Whenever I say the word Tat, Ajnanadi Upadi should come to my mind. Upahita Chaitanya and Anupahita Chaitanya. The conditioning, conditioned consciousness and pure consciousness. And same at Tvam level, all three things should come to mind. And after doing that, now Swamiji is saying, let us inquire more into Mahavakya. Another important thing in Sadhana Panchakam is, this is sadhana number 16. Meaning before coming to Mahavakya Vichara, it is expected that the previous 15 sadhanas have been done very well. Starting from Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. Means every day the sadhaka is doing some kind of chanting, lives his life with Karma Yoga Buddhi, offers all his karma as flowers of worship to Bhagavan. then Bhagavato Bhaktir Dudhadhiyatam, has gotten firm faith in Bhagavan. And then he has come to a teacher, then he does Mahavakya Shravanam, then he is doing now Vichara of Mahavakya Shravanam. Two important things there, Sadhana Panchanga. One is Mahavakya Vichara itself is a sadhana. The reason it's important to emphasize is, if we lose this point, we will feel this is some kind of intellectual analysis. In particular, the portion which is going to come today. It's slightly technical, not very, very technical. There can be more things, even more technical than this. So if you miss this point, that Mahavakya Vichara is a sadhana for moksha prapti, we will feel it is some kind of intellectual gymnastics. Or we might feel that this is not working right now. Mahavakya Vichara, I don't feel it is benefiting me right now. So then Bhagavan says, that's why I put it on number 16. Check the previous sadhanas and see where we need to adjust. So Mahavakya Vichara becomes Rasamaya. Rasa means what? Joy giving. It is filled with Rasa. So we had seen the introduction of Mahavakya. It is something which, if you say Vedanta is the essence of all Vedas, it is a crown of all Vedas. Mahavakya is a Mukuta Mani. It is a jewel, crest jewel of entire Vedas. And that statement is there in every Upanishad. It is also presented in different ways, but the ones that are most popular ones, they are well known. But it doesn't mean they are the only Mahavakyas. The main purpose of Mahavakya is to reveal that Akhandartha Vastu. Akhandartha Vastu means that pure consciousness which is not bound by any conditionings, that which doesn't have any khanda. Simple meaning of Akhanda is that. You say Akhanda Bharat. Akhanda Bharat means what? That which did not have any parts. Right? So that Akhanda Vastu is revealed through Mahavakya. And the beauty of Mahavakya is, it is going to indicate something which is not part of this creation. Right? If it was any object, you can directly point it out. Any object of this world, we can use sentences, we can use words to point out. Now, how are you going to point out through words something which cannot be indicated through words? But still they can do it. That's why it needs thinking. Mahavakya Vichara is for this purpose, that Akhandartha Vastu, pure consciousness which never becomes even an object of our sense organs. How can a statement reveal something like that? He says it can reveal because it is ever present. There is a technique to understand that statement by which we will be able to shift our attention to this Akhandartha Vastu. So Mahavakya background is clear, right? Mahavakya purpose is this. It is not to create any other kind of bhavana, that you are infinite, that keeping your individuality also, if you want to be infinite, we say that is not the purpose of Mahavakya. Because you are infinite, you can achieve anything. He says that is another category of advice. It is not part of Mahavakya. Now, when it comes to Mahavakya Vichara, the main Mahavakyas which are there, our Mahatmas, they try to put it in a systematic way so we can appreciate it. 4 Mahavakyas are there, right? So when the student comes to the teacher the first time, the teacher gives Lakshana of Brahma, indicator of Brahma. He says Prajnanam Brahma. This consciousness which is there, that alone is infinite. Now he says, now you go and reflect. I have given you the direction to think. Now you go and reflect what is Prajnanam and what is the meaning of Brahma. So this is called as Lakshana Vakya. Now he goes and comes they say, once he has reflected sufficiently, the teacher now gives direct Upadesha. He says, Tvam Asi. That truth which is at the substratum of creation, that Bhagwan, he says, that Bhagwan you are. Tat Sat Tvam Asi. So this is called as the statement of instruction, Upadesha Vakya. And the student goes again and constantly reflects upon this particular statement. Vakyartha Vichara, does it very nicely, comes back. Now he says, okay, what have you understood? Teacher asks the student, what have you understood? So he says he is understanding in the form of the third Mahavakya, which is Aham Brahmāsmi. That is called as Anusandhana Vakya or Anubhava Vakya. Anubhava Vakya. Anubhava means whatever the teacher has said, he has heard it, reflected in the same way. Now his conviction is Aham Brahmāsmi. Not Purushoham, not Dehoham, not any other titles, Brahmanoham, Kshudroham, none of those. Then finally, teacher says, keep reflecting on this alone. When you go back to the world is waiting there to again create Viparit Bhavanas, erroneous notions. Hold on to that statement. So that Mahavakya on which he continues to reflect upon, that is called as Anusandhana Vakya, that is Ayam Atma Brahma. This Atman alone is infinite. Now it is just a way to connect the four. Don't think that Anusandhana Vakya is more powerful than Lakshana Vakya or any of those kind of ideas, but it's just to indicate that Mahavakyas can be looked at in a systematic way, connecting to each other. Aham Brahmāsmi is Lakshana Vakya. Sorry, Prajnanam Brahma is Lakshana Vakya. Then came Tat Tvam Asi, which is Upadesha Vakya. Then was the third one, Aham Brahmāsmi, which is Anubhava Vakya. And the last one is Ayam Atma Brahma, which is Anusandhana Vakya. 4 Mahavakyas were given. Now, the portion which is going to come, that is about how to analyze this Mahavakya such that we can get Akhandartha Bodha. Akhandartha Bodha means knowledge of that Akhandartha Vastu, knowledge of that entity which is Akhanda. How do we get the meaning of that Akhandartha Vastu? Through Mahavakya. How should we understand it? So analysis is going to be done. Before we go into the word by word, I'll give a summary of the whole section. Okay, then it's easy when you jump into the verse, you know what you are looking at. So our scriptures, they say, when you have to understand any sentence, we first need to know the words. We first need to know, or we first need to pay attention to the words. That is called as pada. Having done that, having paid attention to the word, you then have to go to padartha. Padasya artha, padartha. The meaning indicated by the word. And through this, you have understood all the words in the statement. So you will get Vakyartha, meaning of the sentence. So first pay attention to pada, then go to padartha, then go to Vakyartha. So in the case of Tvam Asi Mahavakya, we say first let us pay attention to the pada. How many padas are there? Pada means a word, in simple thing. Pada means a word. Tat, Tvam and Asi. 3 padas are there. Now our question is, are these 3 words referring to the same thing or are they referring to different things? So for example, now leave aside Tat Tvam Asi. Try to appreciate this point where we inquire into, when we look at the padas, are those padas referring to one thing or are they referring to different things? So for example, if you take the sentence, Gam dandena anaya. Gam means a cow. Dandena means by a stick. Anaya means bring. So Gam word is there, that is indicating a cow. Danda word is there, that is indicating a stick. And Anaya word is an action. So bring that cow with a stick. Gam, Dandena, Anaya. 3 words, but each word indicating different things. There is no one locus. There is different locuses. Or there, I don't know what is the plural. Sometimes say loci or something they say. Anyway, many locus, they are being indicated. Now, this is called as Vyadhikarana. Vyadhikarana means Adhikaranas are different. Gam word is going with a cow, stick word is going with a stick, and action is to bring the cow with a stick. It is called as Vyadhikarana. Now take another sentence. Blue, fragrant lotus. Blue, fragrant lotus. Now blue word can go with so many things. Fragrant word can go with so many things. You can have a blue TV, you can have a blue car, you can have a blue sky. Fragrant could be some food item. Fragrant could be some perfume. So fragrance word also can go with many things. But over here, because of that statement, lotus is there and blue fragrant is there. When you put all 3 together, what you find is they are actually indicating the same thing. Blue is also indicating the lotus. Fragrant word is also indicating the lotus. Blue, fragrant lotus. Although they are 3 words, but Adhikarana is only 1. 3 words, 1 Adhikarana. If the first category, which had 3 different things, is called as Vyadhikarana, second one is called as Samana Adhikarana. Adhikarana means locus. All the 3 words which are there, they are indicating the same locus. Blue is also indicating lotus. Fragrant is also indicating the lotus. And lotus, of course, is indicating lotus. Okay. This much is clear? Online? Everybody good? Now you can write the Sanskrit word for this. If the locuses are different, the statement which comes from such a formation of words, it is called as Bheda Samsarga Vakya. Bheda Samsarga means they are indicating different things, but there is some kind of a relation between them. Samsarga means relation. But there is Bheda. Okay. Cow is not stick. Stick is not cow. Bringing is not cow or the stick in that way. Okay. So the knowledge which will arise will be Bheda. 3 different things are there and they are related in some way. You see where this is going, right? Tasmin Tvam Asi, Tasya Tvam Asi, Tasmat Tvam Asi, Tasmai Tvam Asi. That will become Bheda Samsarga. Bheda Samsarga. So Gam Dandena Anaya, because all the 3 words are indicating different things. So it is called as Bheda Samsarga Vakya. They are related, no doubt. Then the second one, where all the things are indicating the same thing, that is called as Abheda Samsarga Vakya. Okay. One is called as Bheda Samsarga. Second, blue lotus is called as Abheda Samsarga. And here, Swamiji is going to say, Mahavakya is Abheda Samsarga Vakya. It is not Bheda Samsarga, it is Abheda Samsarga. Meaning what? Within their padas, there is Samana Adhikarana. Tat and Tvam are not indicating 2 different locus, they are indicating the same thing. They are indicating the same thing. But be careful, Neelam Utpalam, which is there, it will be applied in different ways. So when it comes to Samana Adhikarana, you can take that example. Okay, later on it will be pointed out where this Neelam Utpalam will not work. Brahman is unlike this. He will say that later. Okay, but for now you can say the main thing what we derived by looking at Pada is there is only one thing pointed out by this statement. One thing pointed out. Okay, you can take other examples also, but because these are classic examples, it is easy. Last Sunday, many went for a hike, right? So if you say, I went for a hike with my friends, how will it be in Sanskrit? Aham Mitrena Saha Paryatanam or Parikramanam Gatavan. Parikramanam, you can say hike. Aham Mitrena Saha Parikramanam Gatavan. I went for a circumambulation around the mountain. Okay. Now these are different vibhaktis, different case endings. So they are Bheda Samsarga Vakya. Friend is different, you are different, hike is different, and you are going for that hike or went for that hike. But now if you say it was a nice, refreshing hike. Sukhakaram, depends on how it went. Sukhakaram, Prahladaniyam. Prahladaniyam means refreshing. Sukhakaram, Prahladaniyam, Paryatanam or Parikramanam. So now, although you are using two words, Sukhakaram and Prahladaniyam, the locus is one. Hike is the locus, which is defined in two different ways. So with analysis of Pada, our conclusion was these Padas are in Samana Adhikarana. They are in one locus, or they want to indicate one locus. Okay. Now, how to find that locus? How to find that locus? So come to the second category, which is called as looking at Padartha. The meaning of each of the Padas. So take the same example of Neelam Utpalam, blue lotus. So the relationship between these two things are, one is an adjective and one is a noun. But over here, you will always find some or the other, limitation. But you can just say one is a qualifier, another is a qualified. What is a qualifier in blue lotus? Blueness. That is a qualifier, and lotus is the qualified. Okay. If I say tall man, what is the qualifier there? You can type it. A little bit interaction is helpful. Tall man, what is the qualifier there? And what is the qualified? Man. Good. Okay, Vedanta will shake things a little bit later. Let us keep it to this now. Neelam Utpalam, blue is there, lotus is there. Now let us say, one day somebody asks you, now Diwali is coming, you have to go to bring flowers. You go to a flower shop, and there are so many lotuses there. There is a red lotus, there is a yellow lotus, white lotus, blue lotus. And there are so many other objects also. There is a blue pen, there is a blue table, right? Florist might have so many things. Blue cloth is also there, and other color things are there. Now you see what these two words are doing. The moment you say blue, that word blue removes all other colors. You have gone there to bring something which is blue. What that thing is later will come. But the moment you say blue, that blueness removes all other colors. But you can be left with a blue cloth also. You can be left with a blue pen, and you can be left with a blue lotus. But the moment you hear the word lotus, so that lotus word will remove the cloth, that lotus word will remove the pen. Meaning what? Through Visheshana Visheshya, we have come to that Adhikarana now. The right Adhikarana. But did you see what happened here? Blueness acted as qualifier for the lotus. Lotus can also act as a qualifier for blue color. Right? Because you had blue cloth, you had blue pen, and you had blue lotus. So that lotus also acted as a qualifier for the other. The color was qualified by blueness. But in and through that, we were able to come to this understanding that this Adhikarana is lotus. But remember, merely the pada did not tell you the relation. It did not tell you the Adhikarana. Pada is just a word. So you have to come to Padartha. You have to come the blue color and you have to come to the Padartha of lotus. Then you will come to know which is the right Adhikarana. Oh, this is the blue lotus I am seeking, not a yellow lotus, not a red lotus, and so on. Okay, now this is example. Apply this to Mahavakya. Now you said Tat Tvam Asi, all of them are in Samana Adhikarana. So now if you have to find what is that Adhikarana, then you have to apply Visheshana Visheshya Sambandha. Qualifier and qualified. If you get the meaning right away, everything is done. Like in the case of Neelam Utpalam, you got the meaning right away. Blueness qualified lotus, lotus qualified blueness, both of them gave us the Adhikarana. Now, in Tattvam Asi, if you apply Visheshana Visheshya Bhava, what will we end up with? Tat Pada qualifying Tvam Pada. Means that Jiva which is qualified by Ishvara. That Alpajna which is qualified by Sarvajna. That will not work. How can Jiva be qualified by Ishvara? Or you put it other way. That is even more hilarious. Ishvara qualified by Jiva. Bhagavan says, I am good by myself. I don't need Visheshana of a Jiva. So here, Vakyartha will fail. Means you cannot apply Visheshana Visheshya Bhava for Mahavakya. Tat cannot become qualifier for Tvam. Tvam cannot become qualifier for Tat. So first you check the Padas, then you check the Padartha, then you went into the third one. Because Padartha did not give direct meaning, direct meaning is called as Vakyartha. Vakyartha did not give the meaning. Visheshana Visheshya Bhava did not give that meaning. Then you go to the third one, which is called as Lakshyartha. What is Tat indicating? What is Tvam indicating? What is the implied meaning of the word Tat? What is the implied meaning of the word Tvam? Then there is a process to evaluate Lakshanas. 3 different names will be given. And then we will arrive at Tvam Asi Mahavakya's main meaning. Okay, but if you have understood this process, each verse will become very simple. Some nuances will be there, but we will see it when it comes. But big picture idea should be there. First we checked the Padas and we understood that it was Samana Adhikarana. It was in the same locus that these words want to indicate. Then we checked Visheshana Visheshya Bhava because we were interested in finding that Adhikarana. Merely Pada will not tell me what is that Adhikarana like. So then we went into Visheshana Visheshya Bhava, qualifier and qualified. So unlike a blue lotus, Tat and Tvam cannot qualify each other. Because end of the day, even if you say blue lotus, blue also remains, lotus also remains. So there is khanda there. If you say Tattvam Asi, after analyzing Mahavakya, one remains as qualifier, another remains as qualified, that itself will be Dvaita. That itself will be Akhandartha Bodha. So it cannot work. Tat cannot become qualifier of Tvam. Tvam cannot become qualifier of Tat. So literal meaning is not giving us Akhandartha Bodha. Then we go to the third one, which is Lakshyartha. How to analyze Mahavakya through Lakshanas. Implied meaning. That is more detailed, but we will see when it comes. Okay. Now let us enter 148. Atha Mahavakyartho Varnyate. Atha Mahavakyartho Varnyate. Idam Tatvam Asi Vakyam. Idam Tatvam Asi Vakyam. Sambandhatrayena. Sambandhatrayena. Akhandartha Bodhakam Bhavati. Akhandartha Bodhakam Bhavati. Atha. So now we are going to elaborate Mahavakya. He says we are going to elaborate. Means it is not my opinion. What we have heard from Guru Parampara. Asmabhihi Varnyate. Idam Tattvam Asi Vakyam. This Tattvam Asi Vakya which is there. Sambandhatrayena Akhandartha Bodhakam Bhavati. When you analyze it in 3 different steps, 3 different sambandhas. First one is between the padas. Second is between padartha. And third is between what is being pointed out, that pratyagatma vastu, and the padartha. Because padartha did not give literal meaning, you are trying to see implied meaning. So like this, when you evaluate in 3 ways, what rises from that is Akhandartha Bodha Jnanam. This is what we are seeking. All our sadhanas are to get this Akhandartha Bodha Jnanam. So Mahavakya Vichara will give this. And most importantly, this Akhandartha Bodha will do Dukkha Nivrutti. That is the main idea. And I will tell you, after reflecting on entire Mahavakya, right, we should ask this question to ourselves. That okay, now I have studied Pada, I have studied Padartha Shodhanam, I have done Mahavakya Vichara also. How has it done my Dukkha Nivrutti? How has it done my Dukkha Nivrutti? 149. Sambandhatrayam nama padayoho samanadhikaranyam padarthayoho visheshana vishesha bhavah pratyagatma lakshana yoho lakshana bhavah cha iti. How nicely he explains. He used the word sambandhatraya, right? In the previous 148, sambandhatrayena akhandartha bodhakam bhavati. Now, whenever he uses a word, he will explain it. He says, what is sambandhatraya? That is 149. Sambandhatrayam nama. Sambandhatrayam means padayoho samanadhikaranya. Between the words, between the pada, there is samanadhikaranya sambandha. What is samanadhikaranya? He will explain later. He is just giving the titles. It is called as Upadesha Lakshana Pariksha. Upadesha means you name it, then you do Lakshana, means you define it very, very precisely. Then again go back and check whether your definition is having any kind of fallacies. Upadesha Lakshana Pariksha Trividha Shastrasya Pravrutti. Scriptures move around in this way. They create knowledge by defining terms, by first indicating terms, defining them, and then precisely going back and checking it. Sambandha Trayam Nama Padayoho Samanadhikarana. This is the first sambandha. Between padas, there is Samanadhikarana. Padartha Yoho. Padartha means Padasya Artha. Between the meaning of the words, Visheshana Vishesha Bhava. There is the sambandha of one is Visheshana, another is Visheshya. Now remember, this part had failed in our analysis. Okay, but he is going to show in certain Vakyas, Visheshana Visheshya can still work, but it is understood in a different way. Meaning those Visheshanas will cancel out each other, and only that Adhikarana will be left. Unlike blue lotus, blue also remained if you add any other Visheshana, right? if you say blue fragrant lotus, end of the day, everything remains as it is. But he is going to give one example where if you apply Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, the Visheshanas cancel each other and only the substratum remains. Okay, that we will see later. But for now, just pay attention to what is the elaboration of the word Sambandhatraya. Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, then Pratyagatma Lakshana Yoga. Pratyagatma means Shuddha Chaitanya. And Lakshana Yoga. In that Padartha did not give meaning, I should have Lakshana of that Padartha. Between them there is Laksha Lakshana Bhava. Very careful here. Huh? Between Pratyagatma, which is Shuddha Chaitanya, Pratyagatma Lakshana Yoga. What is Lakshana Yoga? The two Padarthas which are there, Tat Padartha and Tvam Padartha. Vakyartha did not give me that meaning. So I have to go to Lakshartha. So he says between that Lakshana of that word Tat, Lakshana of the word Tvam, and Pratyagatma, there is Laksha Lakshana Bhava. Okay, Laksha Lakshana Bhava cha iti. Now Swamiji says this is not my own creation. I have taken this from Naishkarmya Siddhi. This whole analysis point, how to do this, all the three sambandhas he has taken from Naishkarmya Siddhi. That verse he is quoting here now. Samanadhikaranyam cha Visheshana Visheshyata Laksha Lakshana Sambandha Padartha Pratyagatmanam. Look at the last quarter. Pada Artha Pratyagatmanam. There are three words there. Huh? There is Pada, Artha means Padartha, and then Pratyagatmana. Three things are there because that samasa opens in that way. It's Bahuvachanam, right? Pratyagatmanam. Atman Shabda becomes Atmanam. So at least three things should be there for Bahuvachanam. Otherwise it would have been Dvivachanam or Ekvachanam. So what is the Bahuvachanam there? So there are three things: Pada, Padartha, and Pratyagatma. Between these three things, there are sambandhas. So he says Samanadhikaranyam sambandha is between padas. Okay. Samanadhikaranya sambandha is between pada. Visheshana Visheshyata is between Padartha. Between Padartha, the second sambandha. Like Neelam Utpalam, Neelam became Visheshana, Utpalam was Vishesha, or vice versa. So it was between Padartha, there is Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. And the third one is Laksha Lakshana Sambandha, between the Padartha and Pratyagatma. Between the Lakshana, which is indicated by that Padartha, and Pratyagatma, there is Laksha Lakshana Bhava. Okay? Because it's a sequential journey. Padartha did not give us meaning directly. Vakyartha did not give us the meaning directly. So we took Lakshartha. So he's saying between that Lakshana, which is giving us Lakshartha, Pratyagatma, there is Laksha Lakshana Sambandha. Okay, it will open up more when you go to that verse. Every Sambandha will be elaborated now. First he just defined there is Sambandhatraya. Then he went on to say, what are those Sambandhatrayas? Samanadhikaranya, Visheshana Visheshya Bhava, and Pratyagatma Lakshana Yoga, Laksha Lakshana Bhava. Third Sambandha is Laksha Lakshana Bhava. First one is Samanadhikaranya. Second is Visheshana Visheshyata. Third one is Laksha Lakshana Bhava. Okay. Everybody is with me, right, so far? Good. Now let us see Samanadhikaranya, 151. Samanadhikaranya. Samanadhikaranya. Sambandha tavat yatha soyam devadatta iti अस्मिन् वाक्ये तत्काल विशिष्ट देवदत्त वाचक सशब्दस्य एतत् काल विशिष्ट देवदत्त वाचक अयं शब्दस्य एकस्मिन् पिण्डे तात्पर्य संबंधः तथा च तत्त्वमसीति वाक्येपि परोक्षत्वादि विशिष्ट चैतन्य वाचक तत्पदस्य अपरोक्षत्वादि विशिष्ट चैतन्य वाचक त्वं पदस्य च एकस्मिन् चैतन्ये तात्पर्य संबंधः. So this is elaboration of first kind of sambandha, samanadikarne sambandha, that is elaborated in this verse. Samanadikarne sambandha tavat yatha. Just samanadikarne is just like this example. What is this example? Soyam Devadatta is a classic example. It keeps coming in almost every other Vedanta text that we see. There was a boy who grew up in a village, very humble upbringing, but very talented. Very talented. So at the age of around 15 years, let us say, he left that village and went, somewhere, went to the city to study. Stayed there, could not come back, very busy life, went abroad, and then settled there. Then he came back after 15 years. After 15 years, with his whole family. He said, I have to show you my village. It's, something which is very nostalgic, where we grew, which school we went to. So there he came with his whole family, and everybody is just watching, who is this person who has come there? Then his father was there. He tells all the other people that Devadatta, his name was Devadatta, was running around, was to do all that mischief. He is the same Devadatta. Saha Ayam Devadatta. He said, but it looks so different. He has grown a beard, grown tall, wearing different clothes. He says, that is okay, but leave aside all those things. That same Devadatta that you saw 15 years ago, that same Devadatta is this one. Means Saha word is used and Ayam word is used. Saha means at that time, 15 years before Devadatta whom you saw. And Ayam word is used, right? In that statement of father, Saha Ayam Devadatta. So although there are two words, they are indicating same Adhikarana. That is the main thing here. Two padas are there. Saha refers to somebody, or it could refer to somebody who is at a different time. But Ayam word is also there. So those two words are related by Samana Adhikarana. Devadatta is a Samana Adhikarana. If you remove Devadatta, Saha and Ayam will become opposite. You say Saha is somebody else, Ayam is, looks somebody else. You say Devadatta is also there. So Saha looks different, Ayam looks different, but Tatparya is in one thing. Okay? Tatparya is in Devadatta. Saha Ayam Devadatta iti asmin vakye tatkala vishishta Devadatta. Tatkala vishishta Devadatta means that Devadatta who was conditioned by 15 years before. So Visheshana over here is Kala. Tatkala Vishishta Devadatta, of that Devadatta. Vachaka Sa Shabdasya. Sa Shabda refers to that Devadatta. Etat Kala Vishishta Devadatta Vachaka Ayam Shabdasya. Ayam Shabda in that Vakya, Saha Ayam Devadatta refers to this Devadatta, who is conditioned by the time today. Just a way of indicating. One is Devadatta of 15 years before, one is Devadatta right now. Ekasmin Pinde Tatparya Sambandha. Although the word is Saha Ayam, sentence is Saha Ayam Devadatta, the Tatparya is in one Pinda. He's calling him Pinda. That is how Mahatmas look at this physical body. They say this is Pinda only. Yatha Pinde, Tatha Brahmande. That Pinda word comes there also. Ekasmin Pinde Tatparya. In one locus, there is Tatparya. So between the two padas, there is Samana Adhikarana. Okay. In the same way, Tathacha Tatvam Asi iti Vakya. In Tvam Asi Mahavakya, Parokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanya Vachaka Tat Padasya. You see what a beautiful adjective is there. Huh? Parokshatvadi Vishishta. What is Tat Pada? Now, Paroksha word did not come before. Previously, what were the indicators? Sarvajñatva, Sarveshwaratva, Sarvashaktiman. All those indicators were there for Tatpada. But now he is saying that Tatpada is Parokshatvadi Vishishta. Why? Because these indicators will never become Pratyaksha for us. How much knowledge Bhagwan has? Sarvajña, when we say, if you say Sarvajña has to become Pratyaksha for me. Pratyaksha means I should be able to see, or at least know through whatever means, how much knowledge Bhagwan has. If you try to see how much knowledge is there, even one branch of knowledge we go deeper, we realize so much is there. So Sarvajñatva is not possible to know as Pratyaksha. This is Shaktiman, what all things Bhagwan can do. They teach a song, right? My God is so great, so strong and so mighty. There is nothing my God cannot do. Okay, how many things he can do? That is actually a good prayer. They say there is nothing my God cannot do. If you start writing, you say Shaktiman, I want to know how much it is to make it as Pratyaksha. You keep writing, maybe one page, but that will also fall short. There are so many things which we will not know what is Shakti of the Lord. That's why in Shiva Mahimna Stotram there is one shloka, right? Tava Tattvam na janami kidrushosi Maheshwara. Yadrushosi Mahadeva Tadruk eva namamya. Means whatever way you are, in that way only I am bowing down to you. I don't really know what is your form, what is your glory. So Tatpada, which is Parokshatvadi Vishishta, and Aparokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanya Vachaka. Now what is Tvam-pada? Tvam-pada is simple. It is Aparokshatvadi Vishishta. All adjectives which are there for Tvam, they are Aparoksha for us. Do I feel Alpajñatva is Paroksha? Alpajñatva is Aparoksha only. It is very immediate. It is known as something very immediate. Aparokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanya Vachaka Tvam Padasya Ekasmin Chaitanye Tatparya Sambandha. Just like Saha Ayam Devadatta, Tatparya was in that Pinda. That was an example. In the same way, Tvam Asi Mahavakya, Tat and Tvam has Tatparya in Chaitanya. So they are not two different objects to begin with. They want to indicate that one object. Object is just a phrase of expression. There is no object per se. It is Chaitanya, which is Vastu. In that Chaitanya, there is Tatparya. Now here there are some objections which are raised, where they say, how do you assume by saying that, how do you assume with this thing that Tatparya is in one entity? Why can't you say Jiva is different and Ishvara is different? Why this assumption in the beginning that both are indicating the same consciousness? You can have Jiva different, you can have Ishvara different. So Vedanta says for this, if after studying Upanishad, after studying Mahavakya, we come to know something which we already knew before, that study will not be anything meaningful. Meaningful in the sense, it won't be pramanika. What was the definition of pramana? One of the definition is anadigatam. Anadigatam means what? That thing which I will not know through any other means of knowledge. So to say that I am doer, I am enjoyer, I am here, Bhagwan is somewhere. For this, we don't need any other kind of Upadesha. It is our natural thinking. Bhagwan is there or Bhagwan is somewhere, at least that would need some thinking. Let us leave that part aside. But to say that I am Karta Bhokta, I am doer, I am enjoyer, to say this, we don't need Upanishad teaching. Right? If, let us say, after studying Upanishad, I come to know that I am Khanda, I am Jiva. You say, what have you studied for the entire portion? On Mahatma Ji, there was a student, See, whenever we hear this Mahavakya for the first time, we think they don't know what they're talking. Maybe Vedanta is wrong somewhere. So he went on this another tangential thought process. He said, I am not Brahma, I am a Jiva. I will prove that. And when you start questioning people who are, well established, the person who is questioning, he also gets noticed. So this student also was feeling very nice that all Mahatmas, whoever would come, he would start questioning them. He would say, no, this Mahavakya is not the right way to look at it. There is another way to look at it. And he would say, I am a Jiva. So there was one Mahatma who came. He was very, Pakka Vedantin, you say, right? Like who has established in Vedanta. He did not even discuss with him. He said, tomorrow is your Mundanam day. Young student, Tomorrow is your Mundanam day. You go to the barber shop. Get your Mundanam done. And then after you finish doing the Mundanam, ask the barber, who did this Mundanam? And tell me the answer. So he goes, does his Mundanam, and he asks the barber, very strange question to ask a barber, who did this Mundanam? Barber says, I did. He says, okay, he comes to his teacher and says, he says, look at that barber. He did not do any kind of study. He did not do any kind of vichara. Still he is saying, I am doer of this action. That is what you are trying to do. After studying Vedanta, you are trying to prove, I am a karta. He says, even without studying Vedanta, you can, prove it. Then he sends him again, go and tell him that you are not karta, you are Brahma. You are akarta Brahma. This karturtva is an appearance in you. That barber says, what are you talking? Again he goes, student goes, and he vehemently tries to oppose him. He says, what are you talking? I did this. What Brahma? What is that? So then teacher says, this is what you are trying to do. If somebody is telling you are Brahma, you are trying to prove that you are karta. So Laksha Lakshana Sambandha should be understood in that way, that their tatparya is in one entity. If at all you say there is a difference, meaning what? Jiva will remain Jiva, some conditioning will remain with this Upadhi. Upadhi remains means what? Samsara remains. Upadhi remains means samsara remains. Samsara here and hereafter. Samsara here remains in the form of bothering mind, conflicts in life. See, Akhandartha Bodha and Sarvatmya Bhava go together. If somebody has understood, I am that Akhandartha Vastu appearing in each and every person. However that person would see himself or herself, in the same way that person would see everybody. So in that way, dukkha nivritti would happen. Vijugupsa will not be there. Vijugupsa means jealousy. Ishavasya Upanishad says that. Okay. So Khandartha Bodha means samsara. Hereafter means what? Jivatva will remain. With Jivatva, desires will come. Means I will feel I'm incomplete right now. And that desire will push us into more births. So Punarjanma is going to come with Khandartha Bodha. Moksha is with Akhandartha Bodha. This part we have seen in Tattva Bodha. The last part of Tattva Bodha is this, where Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, this Jiveshwara Bheda, if we actually leave it as it is, that will bring samsara. But we should remember, Jiveshwara Bheda is denied after negating Upadhi, not with Upadhi. It will come again. We will see the sadhana part also, but today we just saw one of the indicators. So now Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, let us just split the statement if you want, 152. Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, Sambandhastu, Sambandhastu, Yatha Tatra Eva, Vakye, Sashabdartha, Tatkala Vishishta, Devadattasya, Ayam Shabdartha. It should be Etat Kala. Add an I there. Ayam Shabdarthai Tatkala. Ayam Shabdartha Etat Kala Vishishta Devadattasya Cha Anyonya Bheda Vyavartakataya Anyonya Bheda Vyavartakataya Vyavartakataya Visheshana Vishesha Bhavaha Tatrapi Vakye Tat Padartha Parokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanyasya Tvam Padartha Aparokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanyasya Cha Anyonya Bheda Vyavartakataya 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 Visheshana Vishesha Bhavaha. Good. So now this is an example where Swamiji is saying, if you take Soham Devadatta, in Soham Devadatta, Visheshana Vishesha Bhava will give you the, or Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, if you apply, it will remove the Visheshanas. Anyonya Bheda Vyavartakataya. So Visheshana Vishesha Bhava, it will remove Visheshanas. Meaning what? At a given time, you cannot have two Visheshanas for Devadatta. Saha and Ayam is possible only because Saha is Tatkala and Ayam is Etatkala. At the same time, you cannot say Devadatta is 15 years old and 30 years old. So in that way, he says, Visheshanas will cancel out each other and it will take you to Lakshana only. Okay, it will take you to Lakshana only. To cancel those Visheshanas, you will have to apply Lakshanas. But in simple words, you say Visheshana Vishesha Bhava will not work. Okay, like Neelam Utpalam, if you try to do that for Mahavakya, Tat and Tvam cannot become qualifier and qualified. Okay, so that we will see in the next session. Before we conclude, there is a small surprise for all of you. We thought of having a quiz on Vedanta Saar. Okay, but you will ask, don't feel stressed. Don't feel like, oh, which chapter are we doing? What questions will come? What are we going to do? How much time do we have? We don't have any of those things. It's a fun quiz. The purpose is to again recap chapter 1. It won't be on entire Vedanta Sara, only chapter 1, Anubandha Chatushtaya, Adhikari, and Guru Upasatti. 3 main topics. So chapter 1, now which day will it be? So our Diwali celebration is on 24th. October 24th is a Monday. So Monday night, all of us will be here. It will be little, delayed also by the time we wrap up. So Tuesday morning, we will not have Vedanta Sara text. So instead of that, Tuesday morning, 25th, we will have this quiz. Okay. It will be online. So you can just join from your own computers. But the main purpose, don't miss that. Okay. That is just to recap the first chapter. A lot of ideas will become alive, and then we'll have some fun questions based on that. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.